Hi everyone, this clip comes from my live stream. I explained Active Directory with a simple and unique analogy. According to me, it's the best way to understand how AD works and why it's the backbone of IT infrastructure. So enjoy the video, guys. So now let's talk about key concept of Active Directory, and we are going to illustrate what is an Active Directory. So think of an Active Directory as this, guys. So let's put building, and we're gonna use okay, but I need also another thing. I need also this. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, look, guys. Let's just imagine that in order to go to the building, there is a nice guy that where we have to show them the badge, like show them that we are part of the companies, okay? And he's here checking everything. So I'm just like setting up the actual introduction of it, the actual context. Sorry, it's a better word. So guys, think of Active Directory as the HR department of your company, where it keeps records of all employees, like users, their roles, the permission that they have, like in our case, for example, the building that they could go, the building where they cannot go. And if we are saying that here it's the, for example, the Active Directory, and so here it's the AD, and they have the people that work here, they are like the AD, and they have control over everything. Like they have the control of this guy here. And guess who is this guy? I said that AD is like the HR department of your company, and it keeps records. So in this building you have like all the cabinets, the file cabinets, where you have all the employees files, employees profile with, okay, this guy's from there, he lives at this place, and when he go to the building, he we give him his pass, and the password of his pass is like 349, etc, etc. So so what do you think about this guy? Who could be this guy? This guy is the actual domain controller. This is the security guard of the whole building. It checks everyone badge, which is login credentials, and allows or denies access based on the HR records. So this guy is on the phone, is always, imagine this guy always on the phone with the people from here, and saying, for example, let's say we have, let's put nice guy. We have this guy who trying to go, he's trying to go there, like to the building, and him is telling, okay, you want to enter to the building, which is the domain controller, as I explained, is the domain controller, and he's explaining, and he's asking, okay, could you show me your login credential, and then I'll let you in. So that's why I have many people in the many guys in the community when they I know that many people have this issue, not only the or guys in the community, but they tryna log in to their virtual machine, but they can't because their DC is not on, and they think that they have a big issue, that something is bad, and that they have like a big issue on their lab environment, but not. But it's not true. You just need to have your DC always on. Your DC always need to be active, okay? And because if this guy disappear, if this guy disappear, then the Active Directory cannot control you. He cannot control if you are a nice guy or a bad guy. He cannot know if you are part of the company or not part of the company. So that's why you need to have your DC enabled. Otherwise, this guy here won't be able to, actually to go to reach the company. So it's a very, very important. I never saw this actual analogy in YouTube. Really, I never saw this analogy. If someone could have explained me this way, it would have been so much better for me to understand what is Active Directory. And here, what you see here, guys, all the structure, it's the actual, like the laptop, your laptop, the hardware, the VMware. It's all of this thing, like the structure of the building. And here, it's the HR company. It's the HR department. It's the AD. And again, sorry guys if I'm repeating, but it's really for like people who just know about this analogy, so it could they could have a better understanding of it. So this AD again, he had all the file, all the registering access of everybody in the company. He knows everything, and if you are not, for example, on this building, he will not give you access. Like if you want to go there, you don't have the access, he will not give you the access. So what is the analogy here that I'm giving? It's actually the file permission. You see, if you are, for example, a simple employee with domain user, if you are in the domain user, you won't have access to everything, right? Because you're just a user. For example, if this guy here, is just like we'd say this guy is a trainee, is a intern, he will have he couldn't go to any of his building, to any room that he wants. He will just maybe be in the marketing department. He will just be there in the marketing department. Whereas the actual IT guy that has been in the company for over, I don't know, let's say 10 years. I don't like that much this picture. This, okay, it's fine. He will have access to everything. Like he would almost, like, let's say the system admin. This guy is a system admin. He will have access to everything because he's not only part of the actual, is not only part of the domain user, but is also part of domain admins, which give him super rights, like super admin rights. And sorry, I don't have my pen with me. Let me try my pen if it works better this way. Not that much. Okay. So Okay, guys, that's great. So what can I say more? So yeah, so like I said, this guy had had access to almost every room and every building of the company, compared to this intern who only has access to one room. Now the other thing that I could say is that I think that's all right. I can talk also about forest. Yeah, it's a very important topic. Forest. I know, again, so many people they get confused about that, and I'm gonna simply explain it through my analogy, which is a great analogy. I'm not gonna lie, I really love this analogy. I think it's the best way to understand what is Active Directory. So let's simply sorry let's simply quit this one and say that, yeah, it's when you do fast, like when you try to do copy paste fast, Canva doesn't like it. So forest, guys, it's actually it's this. It's, you have a domain here, Paris, we can call it like this. I'm trying to use, my pen, but it seems to be a bit hard with my pen. I will try again. So this building is the Paris building, okay? This one is the, I prefer to say this one is the Lille building. This one is the Lille building. And this one, for example, is the Lyon building, okay? It's another city in France. So, um, actually, what I was about to say is that, oh, yeah, of course, it will not match. No. Let me go back to this. Let me go back here. So, everything that you see here is the actual forest. As simple as that. Everything that you see here is the forest. Okay? And in my case, I have another domain controller in Lille. And this guy is taking care of the people in Lille. And I call it DC1 Site 1. DC1 Site 1. So DC1 Site 1. It's, yep. And the other one is DC2. DC2. And maybe in the future I can maybe add a DC1 Site 2. Okay, and it will be in Lyon. So, and it's, Lyon is a beautiful city like Lille. So why not implementing another site in Lyon actually. And so, just for people to know, as you can see here, look, DC1 Site 1, okay, Lille, DC2, and it's Paris. So I'm actually representing my actual domain, but visually. And I think it make more sense to do this. For me, it's really make more sense than just talking and trying to say that, oh, Active Directory is a centralized directory services used by and it's the backbone of, like, it's it's too much. It's too much. It's better if you do a visual representation of what is your Active Directory. And again, you have here the HR, the HR is there, but actually, let me think again. Let me think of my analogy. Um, you need to understand also that you have one big FSMO, and in my case, it's this one. In my case, it's this guy. This guy is the FSMO, but maybe we'll cover this later. Let me check. Yeah, guys, just before we talk about this, I want to also add three other things, sorry. The first one is the domain. What is the domain? My domain, in my case, here, it's this. It's sorry. In my case, it's, and I didn't want to implement another domain, you know. I could have put like lil.int.security, paris.int.security, but I decided that I want to have every of my site under int.security, and we're gonna look at it right now. So yep, here, and okay, I'm just checking this sites. So remember, guys, here we are in, oh no, actually we could go to user. So you see here, my domain is nt.security, and if I go to my DC2, it will be exactly the same thing. It will be nt.security.com. So there is one big domain with two sites. Okay, I could have did paris.nt.security.com, lil.nt.security.com, but to be honest, it's a mess. Like, it's very complicated, and I think even company, they don't do this that much. They keep one big domain for everybody. So it's the domain, not the forest. The forest, I think my forest is yeah, I'm pretty sure my forest is nt.sec. My forest is nt.sec, so it means that it concerns like the whole like the definition of forest is actually it actually means multiple office branches. So this office plus this office plus this office. But in my case, like, I didn't want to have deal too much with details. I add this domain for everybody the same. So domain and forest could be confusing in my case, because I didn't want to add a subdomain into it. So, but just keep in mind that nt.security means all office branches. For example, your company may have, like I said, an office is in Paris, Lille, Lyon, all part of the same all part of the same hierarchy, you know. So then, what is the domain? The domain is each office branch, like each office branch is a domain. In my case, nt.security.com. So this domain manages its local user and computers and resources. Okay, so I hope that you guys understand. It's just like what I just gave right now is like the generic definition of what is a domain and what is a forest. Okay, so next thing, I want to talk about that. I want to talk about organizational units. Organizational units, which is OU. Everybody call it OU, and OU, it's this. It's like departments inside the office. It could be HR, IT, for example. In my case here, it could be the IT departments at the top, the finance here, the marketing here, the like everything. Okay, here the marketing. So yeah, so here same, you have the IT here, IT department, marketing, finance, etc., sales. So this is the actual organizational unit, the OU. These are like departments inside the office. and they help organize resources logically. So for example, in my case, I have this. In my case, I have this. If you look here, again, we're gonna go to active. In my case, OU is Paris, you see, and the other OU is Lille. So why? It's because, like I told you, I didn't want to do this. And actually, also other companies, sometimes they keep everything under the same domain. But if you are like a big company, let's say you are a very huge company, yes, you're gonna have paris.security.com, and then you will have sales, HR, IT, marketings, etc., etc. But in my case, like, let's imagine I just have 500 employee and I have 2 big sites or 3 big sites. I'm not going to have like like a big multiple domains. I'm just gonna keep everything under anti.security.com. So that's why here I have Lille. It could be counterintuitive, but it's how company manage it. So, and here you have domain controller, sub SCCM. We're gonna talk about this later. And in my Paris, it's here that it's like the real OU. Okay, like help desk team. Let's say it's the guy that managed the SCCM. Here, science division. If you are working, I don't know, in a lab, in some sort of scientist lab things. So yeah, so it works that way, guys. It works that way. Now, what is a DN? Distinguished name. Guys, just think of it as the postal address for any object in AD. For instance, I told you that we talk first about AD, then DC, then forest, then domain, then OU. So we went like this. We went like that. And the last one that is the little part of AD, we call it DN because it's the where your object is located in AD. The best example and the very simple example is users. For example, we have this guy here. That is the intern of the Paris site in the marketing. And when we look at this DN, we will see this. We will see that. We will see this guy will be like this. It will be CN. Let's name it Luca. Shout out to you, Luca. Is here, right? Let me check if Luca's here. Okay, he didn't left. He didn't. He stayed. He already was us. He stayed with us. Okay, so yeah, so CN equal Luca. Luca. I'm not gonna say your your real name, but let's say Martin. OU will be marketing, and it's exactly what you're gonna see if you. I'm gonna show you it later. And then DC will be antidote, and other DC .com. I'm going to type .com, but just I need to check some other thing here. Let me just check if I do it properly. Yep. Okay. So yeah, DC in uppercase. Oh, sorry. Yes. Yes. DC equal antidote. DC uppercase. And guys, DC it's a domain component, right? It stands for domain component. So yeah. So here is the actual DN distinguished name of Lucas. CN common name Lucas Martin. OU organizational unit, and DC domain component, and antidote, and the other domain component is .com. So just com. Okay, so for example, if we look here and we try to do this, okay, and we're gonna do the simplest command line on PowerShell, which is who am I .fqdn. And guys, it's exactly the same thing. So who am I? It means you are, in our case, not Luca, but in my case, we are talking with the DC2. So the big admins controller, we call it FSMO, and is the administrator, CN administrator, or you domain controllers, admins, okay, or you Paris, DC, Antidote Security, com, etc. So it's where the actual object is located. Great. It's very great, guys, that we are here and we cover all of that thing. You guys have a lot of courage. So